More passion, more energy, more footwork, more footwork.
And this right here is why every woman should be dating themselves.
Absolutely. There's a lot of reasons why I think people should date themselves before they start dating anyone else, especially women who date men, because under patriarchy, that man is going to, his default, even the most, evolved man, his default is going to center himself. And so you are going to have to constantly make sure that you are pushing back against any of those inclinations of him to center himself. If he has also done the work and also is aware of his privilege and that under patriarchy he's going to be entitled as fork, he probably won't expect as much from you. And also, if he loves the crap out of you, he's not going to want you to suffer, and he's not going to want to dominate you, and he's not going to want to think that you owe him the world. You got to be his sidecar on his adventure of life, right? I think an essential part for me, even picking a partner who is willing to do that work, like love the crap out of me, almost, I'm still uncomfortable by how much this man loves me. I'm like, are you sure? No, I don't say that, but I'm like, because he makes it clear to me every single day. But I don't think I would have even gone for someone who treated me so well if I did not know how to date myself, treat myself the way I wanted a partner to treat me. I mean, I think my standard became so high, A, because I almost died from dating men, and I was like, wow, I'd rather be alone than ever get anywhere near that again. But B, because dating myself was not, and this is a part of the decentering men thing that I really hope people are focusing on. It's not just don't decenter men and date yourself so that you can find a man. It's still centering romantic love in men. You may never end up in a relationship like that. It's kind of a devastating realization for a lot of women. It wasn't as hard for me because I never believed men would make my life better. It had always made it worse. So I just so just so y'all know, people who are new here, I did not fall in love. It wasn't love, by the way, but I didn't even get into like a real relationship until I was 36. I spent all of my 20s and most of my 30s doing what I wanted, right? But even doing what I wanted, I didn't know how to treat myself well. Even if I followed all my passions, like whitewater raft guide, outward bound instructor, and then I moved to New York, I was in the film industry, and then I moved to South America and was climbing and working in a strawberry farm, and then I was teaching English, and then I lived in LA, and then I lived in you know what I mean? And then I moved to Spain. I've done all this cool stuff, but I still didn't know how to date myself. And by that, I mean, I didn't know how to pour into myself and love myself the way I wanted someone else to love me too. So having close friendships, especially with my friend Liz and other women, that showed me how I deserve to be treated and what real love is. And then also learning how to date myself. Because again, just being like doing whatever you want and being like a lone wolf and a tough guy, right, raft guide and adventurous and all that stuff. I was still like really self-destructive. I was bulimic for I don't even know, well over a decade. I didn't buy myself anything nice ever. Never went to the doctor. I didn't take care of myself. Even though I had decentered men in terms of just tapping out and being like, fork y'all, I'm not dealing with you. I didn't date myself. I didn't pour into myself, take care of myself, and, love myself, right? I was a masochist. It made me feel tough and resilient and all those things. I was totally a toxically masculine feminist, for lack of a better word, which I've written about for Outside Magazine. I was one of the dudes. Just like dudes, I didn't know how to take care of myself. But unlike dudes, I never put that on someone else. Men who are like me, who are just lone wolves and masochists, will then date women and become parasites and ruin their lives. I just tapped out. I didn't know relationships. Nope. I had gotten so good at dating myself. Oh, there's my dog. Taking care of myself, treating myself the way I wish a man would treat me, and I was doing really well. And then I fell for that abuser, and it knocked me back so far, y'all. I had to kind of start. I was back to where before I'd even started that journey of really dating myself. That's why I say be very careful who you let into your heart, because these men can not only ruin your life and take your life, but at the very least they can send you backwards in terms of really knowing how to love yourself. You come out of a relationship like that, you feel like crap. Dating myself wasn't just I'm gonna go on a massage and la la la, watching movies alone. I'm used to being alone. I love being alone. For me, it was more like, hey, Melanie, why don't you buy a bed that's not on the floor? Make your home comfortable and all those things. Get your hair cut. Speaking of which, my God. Go to the dentist. Go to the gyno. That is part of dating yourself. You can take yourself on as many dates as you want, but if you don't actually take care of yourself, you're going to lose yourself in a relationship, because men are programmed under patriarchy to make you lose yourself. And so after all that, the other thing that is great about dating yourself before dating someone else seriously is that you have so much more confidence once you're in a relationship. You know, my husband comes to things that I love a lot of times because he loves watching me enjoy things. For people who follow me, you probably maybe can relate to this. I am like really excited about lots of things. I mean, I'm almost like childlike in my enthusiasm for so much stuff. A lot of it is like so dumb. That's who I am. And he loves that. So a lot of times he'll come to things just to watch me enjoy it. But, and this is important, when he's not feeling it, if he's not feeling well, he will not force himself to go to something because he knows if he's in a bad mood and not feeling it, he's going to ruin that experience for me. And I know if he's in a bad mood, I'm like, maybe you should sit this one out because I like that beginning little clip. I do not want a Derek Downer ruining things that I love. Like that dude. I don't want to be like, yay, isn't this great? I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not here to pep you up like this is a football game. I tried out for cheerleading in high school. Didn't make it 3 times in a row. That told me everything I need to know. I'm not here to like pump someone up, pump men up. I pump myself up. I pump other women up. I need to pump men up. Pump themselves up. Same thing goes with him. Like he loves football, like soccer or whatever. Sometimes I think it's fun to watch. I realized after a while I was like, nah, I don't want to watch this. So I don't do things that I don't want to do unless I know that it's going to give me joy watching him do that. So because we are so comfortable with ourselves and we know ourselves so well and we are perfectly okay not doing everything together, I don't feel bad when I'm like, yep, I'm going to go out with the girls. Bye! I go on artist dates by myself all the time. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure there's other books that have come along that, you know, maybe are even better than this one. But this is a classic. Every artist I know, every creative person, and literally everyone is creative, by the way. This book has been like life-changing because it helps you really get in touch, like to get away from shame and self-judgment and all that mean stuff. To really learn how to fall in love with yourself. I took a workshop in New Mexico with Julia Cameron. Like, she was offering it in Santa Fe. Every Sunday for like 3 months, I drove all the way down to Santa Fe. This 3-hour workshop. And the first thing she said when I went there was, I'm going to show you, or I hope at the end of this workshop, you will have fallen in love with yourself. And, you know, I had a lot more work to do. I really had. The things she mentioned in the book, I really started to discover how to figure out what I like, how to pour into myself, how to like treat myself with little things that are like, look who loves you. It's you know? So not only am I perfectly happy being alone and taking alone time in our marriage, I don't feel the least bit insecure when we're not together. I don't think it's healthy to be together all the time. I want him to have friends. I wrote that article, Men Have No Friends, Women Bear the Burden. Knows that is important to me and that's a top priority for our marriage to work, is for him to have friends and for me to have friends. And if either one of us stop working on our friendships, we're both like, uh-oh, recalibrate. You know what I mean? But by the time I met him, I had such a high standard for myself. I had built a life for myself that I loved so much. I loved the way I was treating myself that I knew if I want to let a man into this amazing world, he better add something to this world, not suck something out of it, which is what a lot of men do. That's what they've been conditioned to do under patriarchy, is to be vampires. Someone on my YouTube page was like, yeah, men are worried about us being gold diggers, which none of us are. And, you know, I call them emotional gold diggers, but they call them soul diggers. That's what they are. We lose our souls when we're with men who don't really see us or appreciate us or pour into us or love us, see who we are or make our lives better. Because we are already set up to get screwed under patriarchy. One of the things I'm so proud of myself for, which one of my mutuals pointed out today, I short-circuited my life being completely derailed by men by just not dating them for a really long time. I know if you want kids in a family, like maybe you can't do that, but also if you want kids, do you really need a man for that? Because if you're listening to any of the married women, most of these men are just an additional kid and are way more work. Their lives are easier when the husbands are gone. So I don't really give dating advice here. I tell my own stories. I mention red flags I've learned. But if I did have one thing that I think everyone should do, but especially women who date men, because you're just set up to get exploited, is to date yourself. That includes pouring into yourself, holding yourself accountable. Like, this is more than bubble baths and stuff. This is like seeing harsh truths about yourself, building community, taking yourself on little artist dates, exploring your curiosity, taking that writing class, all that stuff. And if a man enters your world and doesn't make it better, it's easy to cut him out.